Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new top 5 mints of the week, where we every single Sunday cover the 5 best mints happening on Solana over the next 7 days. And in today's video, we actually have 6 projects because there were quite a few big mints happening this next week that I'm really excited for. So I wanted to feature all 6 in today's video. And even though we're in a pretty bad market right now, there is for sure still money to be made on some of these mints and also secondary plays. We saw it with multiple mints last week, and we will probably see it with some of these mints this week as well. So let me know what you think of today's projects down below in the comment section. The links to all of them will be down in the description as well, so you can go and do your own research on them, because nothing I say is financial advice. You should always do your own research and invest at your own risk. But the links to my Twitter and my Patreon will also be down below in the description if you want to check that out. But with all of that out of the way, let's just dive right into the first project. And the first project today is Baked Berserk. So they came from lands far from beyond the northern mist. Now they currently have like 60,000 followers here on Twitter. They're definitely one of the most hyped mints happening this week. Personally, I love their art. It's super unique and really cool in my opinion. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. It's obviously PFP art, but it's just super unique. Nothing really like I've seen before in the space. So that's a really good thing for sure. Now, if we quickly jump over to their Discord, you can see that their supply is currently 8,888 and a mint price of 2.5 Solana, which in my opinion is way too high. We saw Shrouded Playground mint yesterday when I'm recording this video. They minted with a supply of 7,777 with a mint price of 3 Solana. They weren't even able to sell out like 60% of their collection. I think they're currently sitting at like 60% minted, which obviously is pretty horrible because that was one of the most hyped mints that we basically saw last week, and them not even being able to sell out is pretty bad. And this collection basically has a similar supply and similar mint price, so that does kind of scare me with this collection. I am not 100% sure if I will mint this one myself. Even though I have whitelist, I will for sure keep a close eye on the mint, and if the mint seems to be going well, I might pull the trigger myself, but we'll have to wait and see with that. But basically, going over to their roadmap right here, there's nothing too special. The most interesting thing they're doing is they're basically doing some gamified staking stuff with their own comic books, where basically all the NFTs will start with the same staking yield, but this will change as the story develops. You will send them on different adventures where they will gain traits and get higher staking value. If they're featured in the comic, their yield increases as well. So that kind of gamified staking is a bit interesting for sure, but other than that, I don't see a ton of unique and cool things in their roadmap. But overall, it's just a really hyped collection. I love their art, and if they're able to do this comic book thing pretty good with a nice gamified staking system as well, I do think it can become pretty interesting. They have a super lore heavy project as well. If you jump over to their website, you're able to read through the entire lore, so if you're interested in that, you should for sure check it out. But this is basically the first project in today's video, and for sure project worth keeping an eye on this upcoming week. And they're basically minting on the Magic Eden Launchpad on the 12th of July. Moving on to the second project today, we have the new Bohemia collection called Fabulosa. And if you have watched some of my previous videos, you know that I'm a huge fan of Bohemia. I hold multiple of them myself, and it's just one of those teams that I feel pretty comfortable betting on even in this bad market, because they just keep building, keep delivering cool stuff, and I just think that they're gonna be here for the long term. Their main collection right now is sitting at 13.5 Solana with over 100,000 Solana in total volume, so it's a super successful project, of course. And they're now coming out with their second collection called the Fabulosa. Those who don't believe in magic will never find it, as they say here on their Fabulosa website. The collection size of this second collection is 5,000, and this is also a whitelist only mint. And the way it will work is basically 1 week before the mint, a snapshot will be taken of the Guru Master Bohemians, and they will be airdropped a talisman token. And this talisman token basically is the whitelist token. So basically, a Master Guru Bohemian is just a Bohemian that has been upgrade it using their Whoop token and also a Master Guru letter. Basically, you just combine some Whoop tokens with a Guru Master letter and you send your Bohemian on a retreat for a few days and it becomes a Guru Master. The floor of the Guru Masters is currently sitting at 19 Solana, and obviously the normal ones are sitting at 13.5, so they do have a premium of like 40 to 50% usually. But yeah, these talisman tokens are basically airdropped to the Master Guru Bohemians, and they have a lot of cool plans for this Fabulosa NFT. So basically, taking a look at their art, first of all, it's super unique, super colorful and trippy, super detailed and just different, obviously. So why Fabulosa? Fabulosa brings innovation to the raffle meta that the NFT community appreciates so much. Through our state-of-the-art gamified raffle application, the holders of Fabulosa NFTs have the chance to win life-changing blue-chip NFTs, enhance their experience at the Bohemian Art Fair with Whoop tokens and other utilities, win USDC and Solana, attend the Solana Breakdown Conference in Lisbon in style, and travel the world, as well as much more. So it's basically just a new raffle system. They go on to explain exactly how this works right here on their website. Those who own a Fabulosa will be able to use the animal's ancient magical powers every 5 days, enabling them to cast a powerful spell. Then you basically consume magical herbs. The cost of the bag of magic herbs ranges from 150 to 500 Whoop tokens per bag, depending on the amount of herbs in the bag, and also adding a love letter results in the spell being twice as powerful. But you can also rent out your Fabulosa to earn some nice passive income, and obviously it might be hard to imagine exactly how this will work just by reading this, so it will for sure be really cool to just see how they basically operate all of it when they launch this NFT. But overall, I'm super excited for this. I have multiple Master Guru Bohemians myself, so I will for sure use all of the talismans tokens that I get to mint as many of these Fabulosas as possible. And the Fabulosa mint is happening on July 12th, as it says right here. Alright, moving on to the third project, we have Dreamers NFT. Everything starts with a dream, the most extraordinary story ever told. Now, this is another pretty hyped collection. They currently have 25,000 followers here on Twitter. Personally, I really like their art. It's super unique. Kind of reminds me of Mindfolk a little bit, but it's still pretty different from Mindfolk. And this is another pretty lore-heavy project. But if we jump over to their mind map, you can basically see what they're trying to do. So NFTs is attracting thousands of new traders and creators, but they are feeling lost. New buyers need help understanding who key community members are and who are trying to scam them. Web 2 to Web 3 conversion rate is low. Creators need us, not the other way around. How would that look like? And then they go on to say their solutions basically. I will not go through their entire map and their solutions right now because the video would just be a bit too long. But jumping over to their Discord, you can see some details about their mint. They're basically minting on July 11th and they're minting for 1.69 Solana with a supply of 5,555. So it will be really interesting to see how this one does as well, considering the market sentiment right now that is not looking great. But overall, it's a really exciting project that I'm interested to just see how it does when they mint. Now, the fourth project is another really interesting one. It's Liberty Square. They basically have a supply of 9,999 and they're minting on the Magic Eden Launchpad for 0.88 Solana on July 13th. So a pretty cheap mint price, even though their supply is pretty high. But I do feel like their low mint price kind of justifies their supply being higher because people will probably just mint more of these because they're so cheap. Now, this is basically what the art looks like. I don't really know how to explain this art really, but overall I do think it's a super interesting project and they have been getting a lot of hype and a lot of good words from some pretty big people in the space. Looking at the introduction to their project in their manifesto V2, they're basically saying that Liberty Square is not a PFP project. Liberty Square is a project built with a focus on future development. From media to infrastructure, our focus is on building what we believe adds value to the project and the Solana ecosystem. Now, I will obviously not read through everything right here, but I for sure recommend you to read through this if you find this project interesting. Now, some of the key things that they're doing really early on is launching their staking, where you can earn their fleet tokens and basically use this token for different things down the line. They have also launched a Solana validator, which is really cool. This is for sure something I think more projects should do because, you know, it just supports the entire Solana token and the Solana space overall. They will also launch a pretty new and unique collection staking in September. I will not go too into detail on it right now, but that's for sure really interesting. I basically talked to the team and they told me a little bit about this, and they will also do all the other like normal stuff like merch and auctions and raffles and all of that stuff in the future. So Liberty Square is another pretty interesting project to keep an eye on this week. Maybe the most interesting project minting this week, together with the Bohemia Fabulosa. In my opinion, those are for sure the two projects that I'm looking the most forward to this week. So Liberty Square is the fourth project in today's video. And just to quickly go over these two last projects, we have Kalaklub minting on July 13th. They currently have 45,000 followers. Their art looks pretty cool and unique. Basically, you can see their PFP art right here. They have a supply of 4,500 and they're minting for 0.95 Solana, which is a pretty fair mint price. So I kind of like the fact that some of these projects are lowering their prices and basically adjusting to the current market sentiment. So that is nice to see for sure. Now, some of the things they're doing in their roadmap is staking and stuff, earning their own tequila tokens, and they're trying to basically innovate the raffle systems by doing some new timed raffles or timed auctions. You can read all about it in their white paper right here, so definitely it's worth checking out if you find it interesting. But Kalaklub is another pretty interesting project minting this week. And last but not least, we have Blxckout minting on July 17th. Collection of satirical illustration PFPs, building a platform to bring government open datasets to Solana. They currently have over 9,000 followers right here on Twitter, and this is basically what their art looks like. But these guys are trying to build some real value for the space, which is something that I love to see. So what they're saying is that Blxckout is building an Oracle service to help bring public sector datasets on chain, enabling decentralized applications or dApps to perform new functions and set on identifying new use cases in the Solana ecosystem. NFT holders will be rewarded with revenue share, governance rights, and lifetime product access. So the Blxckout approach to building is laser focused on the long-term goal of moving traditional, inefficient, and process-heavy government operations onto Web3, which I think is really interesting. If they're able to build a good platform for this kind of service, I do think it can really help the entire space. And you know, I just love builders that try to build unique things for the ecosystem. And as they said right there in their intro, basically what you get from holding their NFT is that you will be able to stake it to earn their own SPL tokens, and you also get revenue share from their Oracle service, as well as governance rights and input into the direction of the formal company's revenues. So that's basically Blxckout, another really interesting project minting this week. Alright, so that's the 6 projects in today's video. Let me know which one was your favorite down below in the comment section. Now, I personally like multiple of these projects. I do think multiple of these projects also has great potential to do pretty well on the secondary market and hopefully make us all some money as well. Now, if you enjoyed today's video and got any value from it, do consider to smash that like and subscribe down below. It helps me out a lot. Also, check out my Twitter and my Patreon link down below. The links to all of these projects is in the description as well if you want to check them out further. And with all of that said, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.